Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
And I want to talk to you about brand strategy and why that's so important. A lot of people, when I engage with them and I ask them, so what is your strategy? How are you going to achieve your particular goal? And what are you doing around that? What is that going to look like from a day-to-day business application? What are you going to do when you wake up in the morning? When you deliver on your promise and you have the result you were looking for, and everybody in the room is like, wow, this is what we're talking about. Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series. And I am your business moderator for this day on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community that is sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Now, I will be your speaker for this particular hour, and I want to talk to you about brand strategy and why that's so important. A lot of people, when I engage with them, and I ask them, so what is your strategy? How are you going to achieve your particular goal? And what are you doing around that? What is that going to look like from a day-to-day business application? What are you going to do when you wake up in the morning type of thing? And a lot of times what I find out is that you don't have a business plan, or there's a difference between a business plan and a business strategy. So two different things. A business plan, for the most part, is something that you gather, you pull together, and you're going to present that to a financing entity to tell them how you're going to achieve your goals and why they want to invest in you. And that's your overall business plan. Or it's also something that you would share with potential employees or anyone interested in your business. You would have an overall business plan that would come together and kind of tell the story about your business and why it's important. The strategy is how you get there. So important, because getting into the playbook of the day-to-day grind of running your business is so important. And if you just kind of like, wake up each day and you don't have a very succinct plan for your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what you're going to do and what is important, what is your focus on, what is your revenue generating activity. And that is so important when you start looking at an overall structure of a strategy of how you attain the goals that you've set out in your mission. And a mission is very, very important, because you look at your mission, you kind of unfold it. Everybody has seen that movie, Mission Impossible. He's given a mission. He goes into this, dark room. He finds some kind of way, and this mission comes out. And the person who's employed them says, hey, I need you to go out and do this impossible task. And then if you're successful, you're going to be able to get more opportunities, that type of thing. That's your mission, right? What is your mission state about you? And why is that important? Because if you don't have your mission, this is your guiding overall framework for why you're doing what you're doing. What is the big why that you're here for? My mission is around small business development. I want to take my 25 years of corporate experience and bring it to the small business owner. I want them to understand what it takes to be successful, because even though I was in Fortune 500 companies, that's a huge, either national or international corporation, but they still operated in departments. So a department is really like a small business. So I'm very, very familiar with the tenets of small business operations and what it takes to be successful on a day-to-day basis. And as a more a individual contributor, as an account manager or a business development manager, I understand ownership. See, in entrepreneurship, you've got to take ownership of your particular business model and then have goals that you set for yourself and then reach those goals or exceed those goals. And you've got to have an overarching strategy to do that. Now, when you're in the sporting arena and you have a coach, and that coach now then recruits his team, he says, you know what? I need a quarterback. I need some running backs. I'm going to need an offensive line that can block. I'm going to need my wide receivers that can catch the ball from the quarterback. And I need a stellar defense, because the other side of the ball also has an offense that's trying to score. And the strategy is like, how am I going to achieve that goal? And each each business opportunity that you involve yourself in is a game. And if you're following sports, and I love the sports analogy, is that each opponent that you're going to go against has a different strategy. It's not cookie cutter for every single game, every single business opportunity that you're involved in. All of them have different nuances. They have different strengths. They have different weaknesses. There's different opportunities. And obviously, there's threats. So there's a SWOT analysis that you're going to have to do for each and every engagement that you involve yourself in. And you've got to understand the objectives. Have you defined your objectives in very succinct manner, meaning you have objectives and then you have results from those objectives that you want to achieve? And then what are the tactics that you're going to use to achieve those results? That is what is so important, especially when you get into the brand world. You're going to have brand objectives. And these are business objectives simultaneously. That's why I do branding and I do business development, because I see them working together a lot of time. If you've got a great brand, that's going to help your business development actually to operate easier than if you did not have a brand, and vice versa, right? Very, very important. So I want to ask you this, and this is from a branding perspective. Do you have a dominating market position statement? What is your dominating market position statement that says, this is who I am? It's a bold statement. It's part of my BRAVE framework that I use in my strategy, BRAVE, right? Because you've got to be brave. You've got to be bold in today's business world, right? So that B is so important when I'm talking about the BRAVE framework. It's a bold statement. What is your dominating market position? My dominating market position statement is that 5-star BDM, we create 5-star brands that people will follow. That is my dominating market position. That is what I'm leading with. That's my chart. That's my flag. That's what I'm going out. That's like, and when you see my logo, that's what you say, you know what? That's 5-star BDM. He actually build 5-star brands that people will follow. Those are personal brands. Those are business brands. These are brands that we're creating that has a voice, that has a pulse. And that pulse is to have people to follow them. When you have a charge, people like to follow leaders. You have to have a leading statement. So when you have a leading statement, you automatically attract followers. Like, I believe in that. That's a cause I believe in. I'm going to follow that. That's interesting. I like what you're saying. So that's part of that big, bold statement that you want to get out there. You know, a lot of times I say, I'm pioneering the future of branding. I'm empowering businesses. I'm enriching communities. I want you to join me in doing this. It's part of my bold statement. It's part of my BRAVE framework. And you've got to have a signature branded program. I always encourage my business owners when I'm consulting with them to have some type of signature branded program. Like, what do you mean, Grant? This is something that you're doing that is different. It's a differentiator from your competition. What is your signature brand program? When you think of 5-star BDM, what is my signature branded program? It's Follow the Brand. The Follow the Brand podcast, right? Where I feature business owners, entrepreneurs, career professionals in areas of technology innovation, career business development, financial empowerment, brand mastery, personal branding. This is my signature brand program that I lead with every single day. Every week I have a new episode. Every week you can see it as a TV series as well as an audio podcast. This is a signature branded program that I'm putting out there that's building brand awareness constantly. And if it's doing that, it automatically goes to the next level. People will do in their contemplation of if they want to do business with you. It goes from awareness, and then it goes to consideration, and then it goes to conversion, where you're actually engaging with them in sales activity, right?
Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, is turning heads in the healthcare and information technology sectors with his groundbreaking approach to personal branding and business development. By challenging conventional strategies, he's setting a new standard for how executives present themselves and their businesses to the world. McGaugh's expertise isn't just about standing out. It's about strategic guidance, generating leads, and building networks that propel executives beyond their competition. His focus on authenticity allows leaders to leverage their unique stories, driving exponential growth and success in their industries. Beyond branding, McGaugh is a fervent advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. He's committed to helping organizations cultivate environments where innovation and collaboration thrive through inclusive cultures. And for those eager to dive deeper, McGaugh hosts the Follow the Brand podcast. Here, he unpacks the intricacies of personal branding and business growth, offering valuable insights for professionals eager to redefine their identities and share their narratives with the world.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaugh, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-Star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaugh explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
So I want to ask you, what is your signature branded program? What does that look like? Do you have that? Has that come together for you? And as you're thinking through that, think about your competitive landscape. Have you done your research? Because that's the R in the BRAVE framework. I talked about the B, being bold, your brand identity, right? So important. Your brand strategy, so important. Now we get into the R, that's your research, the market research, and understanding the competitive landscape. A lot of times, and I've seen it so many times, when people want to go into business, they say, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I have the technical skills to be effective in the market. Now I'm asking, all right, define your market. And they kind of fall short. They don't understand what that market landscape looks like. Because if you don't understand the market landscape and what you're operating in, who your competition is, what does that look like? And your competition may not always be another business. It could be the status quo. This is really the biggest, and I have found this so many times in my sales career and my journey in corporate America, that the biggest problem, biggest obstacle wasn't another company that did something similar to my product and services. It was the status quo. The mindset. They did not want to change. They want to keep doing the same thing they've always done. And that is a big inertia that people naturally don't like to change. So you're offering change. And if you're offering change, you have to understand that your competition actually is the status quo. And you need to actually market to that. and understand that, and understanding your audience's position, your customer's position. Sometimes people think about positioning, they're thinking about their position in the market, where they're, I'm at the low end, I'm at the high end, I'm offering, high pricing, I'm on low pricing, where am I at? Am I in the niche business? Am I at the more prestige part of the echelon? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the position and the mindset of your consumer, of your target market, of your target persona, the people or the businesses that you're going after. What is their mindset? How do they look at what you're trying to do? And how does that change their business? And is there an impetus to change? The only reason that someone is going to change is because it has a better outcome. And I have talked to business owners about this very fact, that organizations and people don't buy your products and services. And they get a big, what do you mean they don't? They don't buy your product and service. They buy the results. They want the results. So your positioning has to be around the new results that they will gain if they do business with you. What does that look like? And you have to understand the financial metrics around that. What are they going to gain by working with you and your company that they can't gain by doing what they're doing already? Then it starts, once that's been established, right? Now they're in the consideration phase. And then they start thinking, all right, I hear what Grant's saying. I see what 5-star BDM does for products and services. I see that they're offering a different result that's 5x, 10x better than what I have today. I'm going to consider that. And you know what they're going to do then? They're going to do more research. They're going to start saying, okay, I have 5-star BDM over here. Let me see companies that are similar to his and see if I can get a similar result by working with them, but maybe at a lower price point or something to that effect that I can't get from them. Now they're starting to do research on you. And that's when you need to understand the other part about knowing your competitive landscape, understanding the market size, understanding who they're going to truly go to get that comparison, because that's all they're doing. They're going to compare you with someone else. What does that look like? So you need to understand those competitors in that space. And if you understand that competitor in that space, you can even recommend to them, you know what? You need to go talk to so-and-so or talk to so-and-so. They do something similar to me. And you're going to find out some things, but you already know your heads and tails above them. You already positioned yourself through your messaging that everything they're going to potentially get from them, you're going to be able to offer them something better. And you have an irresistible offering for them that the competition cannot deliver as well. And that's part of the foundations of driving brand and business development. And I want you to understand this at a very high level and understand the language of business. What are you talking about, the language of business? The language of business is money, understanding profit, understanding revenue, understanding return on investment capital, and the values of time. This is what they want to understand. They want to understand revenue potential. And what does that look like? You need to have a differentiated strategy that talks to this and talks in the language of business. So if you're only talking in products and you're only talking in services, you have not spoken in the language of business. You're only spoken in the language of the technical aspects of what you're trying to get across. And I've seen this over and over again in a lot of the companies that I work with, that they had this particular issue, that their messaging, their marketing was always in technical language, but they're not talking in the language of business. The language of business is financial. So when you understand financial language, that you can then explain them and understand that it can enable this financial gain through a technological edge or an enablement tool, you start to get their attention at the highest levels, right? Because that is what the C-suite is really, really about. They're kind of the banker of that organization. They're only going to invest capital if it says they're going to get more capital in return. So if I give you $1 today, I'm going to get $10 next week. That's a great deal. And if you can articulate that kind of development with your business, it becomes a no-brainer why they're going to do business with you instead of someone else. Because if they're only articulating it at a technical level and they haven't articulated at a business level, they're going to be behind the 8 ball. You're going to win the deal, right? Because you understand the strategy. Now you've got a service strategy that goes in. You got considerations that's so important. Then you start talking about success factors. What are your success factors? What is the strong network that you have? The unique value proposition. You're delivering measurable results. Because they're going to know, like, okay, Grant, I'm now considering you for this. Prove to me that you can deliver. Show me that you can do this. Can you show me another company that you work with like mine and deliver results? These are where your testimonials are so important. Your referral network is so important. Someone that vouches for you, someone that will advocate for you because you've delivered the results. This is one of the big things that people get in the sales game. Not because they just don't like salespeople, it's that they look at them and they're not trustworthy. They're not speaking the truth. And the reason why they get that kind of connotation because they don't tell people about the results. They start talking about the product and the service. And remember, people don't buy those things. They buy the results. So if you can talk about the results, you're going to be much further along. People are going to trust you more because, hey, you have a proven method, right? It's proven. I see it. 1 + 1 = 2 in his world. It's not a wiggle room. It's not a maybe here. It's going to be a strong result. And if we invest in you, $1 today gets me $10 next week, guess what? I'm definitely going to roll the dice and we're going to work with you because it's always a risk factor in anything that you do. And if you can articulate the risk before they do articulate the risk, because I guarantee you, depending on what it is that you are presenting to them as an opportunity of investment, they're going to look at the risk mitigation. Any chief financial officer is going to look at the risk. What is the risk? I can lose that $1 that I invested with you. Okay, what does that cost us? If we lose that $1, lose that time, lose all those different things. But if we win, we gain 5x, 10x in amount enough time. So they weigh those things out. If you can articulate those things as strengths in your particular proposal that you're putting together, you're going to go a long way. And then you could talk about the weaknesses. Don't let them assume weakness. There's always weakness in every proposal. Anything in life has strengths and weaknesses. It's just part of nature. What are those weaknesses? What are those conditions that could actually upset the result that you're trying to gain from doing business with you? And if you can articulate those things, it's going to go a lot better. I know in the world I was in, technology, there's always risk. And I would have conversations around this. They say, well, Grant, what is the risk? I want to get the results. The risk is, a lot of times, is adoption. Will your workforce adopt this new technology and utilize it? Because if they utilize it, we're going to get the result. If they don't utilize it, you won't get the result. It's like, I'm going to buy this car, but then they don't drive the car. It doesn't give you the result that you're looking for because that enables you to get to another location. Very, very important to understand your weaknesses or the weaknesses of the project and tell what the product or service that you're offering. What are the weaknesses potential weaknesses that could occur. And if you articulate those things in your business proposal, your presentation, your messaging, they understand that because everybody, you're on this planet Earth, everybody understands that there's light and there's darkness. There's things that are happening that you don't want them to happen. There's always that, oh my God, that what if occurs. You want to be able to let them understand that you know these things. That you're not just assuming it's 100%, it's an A+ every single time. No, talk about those weaknesses so that all of a sudden you get buy-in, and you're not just doing something that the customer's over here and you're over here. You're now in the middle. You're together. You articulate that we're doing this together. The results that we're going to gain comes from our collaboration of working together, merging our team. So we share in the results, good or bad. It's our results. So you want to get to that. And those are the great opportunities for doing business and being successful in your business because you have buy-in. So at the end of the day, before you even gotten the results, you're beginning to set up that referral community. People will speak very highly of you. Exciting time to be in digital marketing with the advent, the explosion of generative AI chatbots. They're better known as ChatGPT. There's Bard, there's Claude, there's all kinds of this new one came out called Gemini. There's so many different tools that really what it comes down to is that it's made my business more precise. I can do things more quicker, I would say, and to elevate my brand messaging to a level that allows me to be as creative as possible. Digital market economy is taking the world by storm, probably over the last decade or so, but is really escalating now in the advent of AI because it is a game changer for a lot of businesses. It's not just all the big boys that can play in this space because of cloud computing, because of mobile computing, and now you have these tools at your disposal. You've got a laptop, you've got a computer, you can now digitize yourself to a level and get your message out there, and that equates to business. Ready to elevate your brand and make a lasting impact? Dive into the world of the Fellow brand where insights meet action. Shop now at our e-commerce store for exclusive merchandise that speaks to you. Transform, engage, and soar with 5-Star BDM. Your journey to brand brilliance begins today.
am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund. Especially when you're not in the room. And they ask, this particular individual, tell me about your experience with 5-Star BDM. He's like, you know what? They took me through this entire process. And we talked about the project. We talked about the results, but we also talked about the detractors. We talked about the risk mitigation. We talked about how we have to work as a team to deliver this result. So we came together and we all had buy-in, and then we were successful in what we accomplished. So if you're going to work with Grant and his team at 5-Star BDM, make sure your team is on board with what you're going to do. And you're like, wow, the sales game, this is what it should look like. This is how this should work. But if you're not messaging and positioning yourself in this way in the beginning, it won't work, right? Because you're going from awareness to consideration to conversion, and understanding that you have to have a framework in what you're working within. Because if you don't have a framework, it's going to bite you over time. So my framework, again, is the BRAVE framework. We talked about being bold, that B, that brand identity. So important. Brand strategy, developing what that strategy is going to look like. We talked about research. You've got to do your research. You've got to understand your positioning. You got to understand your client. This is one of the big statements I make almost every single time I talk to an audience, especially around business. You have to understand your client and their situation and their problem better than you understand your own product and services. You will be so successful if you understand their problem, understand their situation much better than just your own product and service, because you're expected to know that. But if you articulate your understanding of their business problem and where they're at, and you can solve that big problem, like, you know what? We went out, we talked to everybody. We talked to IBM, we talked to Cisco, we talked to Lucent and Vi, we talked to all these different people. They couldn't solve the problem. You can solve the problem. Show me. And if you solve that problem, your goal. So you've got to understand that, right? And then you start to develop, once you've got that put together, and you really start to get into your audience, and you really start to understand your audience, and you understand their persona in the brand world, the marketing world, talk about your persona. What is that? That is your ideal client, what they look like, who they are, what their needs are, how they do business, what are their interests, what are their psychographics, their demographics. They get into all these kinds of different things. You need to understand this and live this reality with them. Because if you start to see that there is a big problem here, that does need to be solved, and my product or service is not on point, it's not quite there, that allows you to go back and do some reiterations, to change some things. That's why there's always new versions of software that come out. You don't stay on the same version. If you're using Chat GPT right now, you first came out, it was at 3.5. When it first came out, people were like, wow, because it was new. They didn't know what it could do, but it did it very fast. It did it super fast. But then it started to see, it's not very human-like. It's very, very, scientific and very analytical. It doesn't have any emotional content. It's just a little off. So they came out with Chat GTP 4. They listened to the feedback that they were getting. And then they came out with a whole new version that became, this is now the paid version. But guess what? It's worth paying for because it begins to speak in the language of humans. And it became easier to articulate. It became faster to use and incorporate into your business. Very, very important to understand as you come out with a product or service that that you're going to have to innovate it. It's going to have to change over time. And that change comes from working with the audience that you have, right? Your clientele that you have, because customer behavior, customer segmentation, so important. The delivery on your promise is so important. So if you make a statement and you want to deliver on that promise, you have to understand that you're going to make changes, but you have to have open communication, open dialogue with the people that you're working with. So they have to understand that. If you talk to a lot of Fortune 500 companies, and they have their vendor list, and they depend on these vendors, right, for successful projects, because that's how they are promoted forward in their corporations. They have to have true open dialogue. You want to have true open dialogue with your particular business opportunities and clients and companies that you're working with, so that there's transparency that's taking place. This is going to help you with your business development. It's going to help you with your blueprint and your strategy. You're becoming more visible. This is when you start to accumulate what I call your assets. You're getting your assets together and understanding what those assets truly look like. An asset is something that's valuable, right? And it's valuable to you and it's valuable to your clients. What does that look like? What are the aesthetics around that? So that your brand and its aesthetics and the assets, they all have style, they all have personality. And it's something that you can then go to that V world, which is making it visible. Your visibility and your vision action plan is so important because that details the tactics that you will utilize to achieve your objectives. So important. How are you going to get the results? You've got to strategize around them. You've got to then look at the tactics that you're going to use to achieve those key results. And you've got to have advocates. You've got to have your stakeholders. That's why I talked about earlier about having transparency, because you can't do it alone. There's got to be buy-in from both sides of the ball in order to achieve your objectives and to be have victories and a winning attitude. And along those ways, those milestones, you're building momentum. So when you get into that V world, you're making it fit your visibility. That's like driving down the football field. You're making a bunch of first downs and you celebrate. And you see how you get a first down, the crowd goes wild, right? You get another first down, the crowd just goes wild. You start to get in the scoring position. Everybody, all the intensities of this dramatic tension in the room. And you're right there. You can win the game. You're in winning position. And then you score. That is the kind of emotion and enthusiasm you want in the room. When you deliver on your promise, and you have the result you were looking for, and everybody in the room is like, wow, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. Now you've made your brand, you've made it visible. That's the visibility, when you've actually delivered the result.
Five-Star BDM, your gateway to rapid growth and unparalleled success. In today's fast-paced business world, success is about making the right connections. It's about having the right strategies to propel your business forward. We were looking for a way to expand our reach, said Johto PR. 5-Star BDM Services provided us with immediate access to their vast network of professionals. With 5-Star BDM, you gain instant access to a wealth of expertise and opportunities. Our team of professionals seamlessly integrates into your business, providing tailored solutions. Their strategic partnerships have been instrumental in our growth, said Agile InfoWays. Cornhusker added, the sales performance enhancement strategies they implemented have significantly increased our closing rates. Don't let your competitors outpace you. Partner with 5-Star BDM and harness the power of their extensive network. Contact us today at 5starbdm.com to unlock your business's full growth potential. Hello, leaders and visionaries. Are we ready to exceed our ambitious goals for 2024? At 5-Star BDM, we're your strategic partners, not just futurists. To the trailblazers in business development, healthcare, and IT, you need a path to realize your vision for growth. Our tailored consulting services are your stepping stones to success. We empower you to build brands, deliver results, and captivate audiences. In healthcare and IT, innovation is progress. At 5-Star BDM, we ensure your operations beat with precision, efficiency, and care. Join those who shape the future. Connect with us today. Let's set the stage for a defining quarter. With 5-Star BDM, it's not just business development, it's a beacon of excellence.
You won the game. That is what you've done. And then you get to that E-world. What is that, Grant? That E-world, again, is that evaluation, right? You evaluate what you've done. You evaluate how you got it done. You measure everything that was necessary. You look at the metrics that you took to achieve your goal, because guess what? You're going to have to do it again. You know, if you're in the NFL, you have to do it next week. You got to go out there and win again. You're going to have new clients. You're going to have new situations. You're going to have new stories that you're going to have to tell. This is all so very important. So you want to understand your vision. You want to set your goals. You want to have alignment with your client. All these things are so very important as you go around your business. So I'm taking you through the BRAVE framework. All right. You begin to understand this better. You got to be bold, right? You got to be resilient, right? You got to be adaptable, right? You got to be visible, correct? Right? And that E, that means you're going to have energy. See, there's different ways I can look at all these different things. You got to put energy in everything that you're doing, because you got to power beyond the resistance, but you've got to do it in a very methodological way in order to achieve your results that are repeatable, because you want something that's repeatable, right, over time, so you can continue to move the ball forward. You got flexibility built in. You're ready to move and shake. So week after week, the different team that you're going to face, week after week, you have a winning attitude. You can go in there, you can win the game, and then you can strategize in what you're trying to do. If you want to know more about 5-Star BDM, I encourage you to go to my website at 5, that's the number 5, star, STAR, B for brand, D for development, M for masters.com, 5-Star BDM. You can also send me an email at grant.mcgaugh, it's MCGAUGH at 5-Star BDM. Or go to my LinkedIn page. I do a lot of activity on LinkedIn. It's a lot of information there. You're going to see a lot of my guests. I've got over 150 plus episodes that you can learn about technology innovation. You can learn about career and business development. You can learn about financial empowerment. You can learn about branding. You can learn from brand masters. All of this is for free for you. So I want you to be educated. I want you to be armed. I want you to win your game. Very much so. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund. The 5-Star BDM LinkedIn Social Selling course can help you stand out and attract the right connections and opportunities. We will help you professionally create your profile, provide personalized recommendations for improvement, and help you create and share engaging content to help you showcase your skills and expertise. Our 5-step course makes connecting with industry experts, finding job opportunities, and building meaningful relationships easy. Social selling can be an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Our course will help you solve the problems associated with digital networking. If you need help personalizing your outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. If you need help targeting the right prospects, this course is for you. With so much noise on social media, it can be challenging to cut through the clutter and get your message in front of the right people. Our course will personalize your messaging using our targeting tools and research. You can identify and reach the right prospects. We will also show how to deliver high quality, valuable content that attracts and engages prospects and clients. The 5-Star BDM LinkedIn Social Selling course will address these challenges by implementing best practices. As a result, you can improve your social selling efforts and generate better results. Are you looking to improve your LinkedIn profile and reach a wider audience? Social selling is an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Some common problems we saw with social selling include lack of visibility. If your profile is not optimized or you're not actively participating in groups or sharing content, it can be difficult to get noticed on LinkedIn. Number 2, lack of personalization. Some businesses struggle with personalizing their outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. Also, difficulty targeting the right prospects. it can be difficult to identify and target the right prospects on social media, especially if you don't have access to robust targeting tools. And number 4, outdated content. If your LinkedIn profile or content is not up to date, it can give the impression that you're not actively engaged on the platform or that your skills and experience are not current. And lastly, poor quality content and not leveraging video and picture to convey ideas. To solve these problems, the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling Video course will help you focus on personalizing your outreach and messaging to better connect with prospects. In module number 1, the foundation, we will help you create high quality, valuable profile that will attract and engage. In module 2, the story, optimizing your LinkedIn profile to make sure it is complete, accurate, and visually appealing. In module number 3, the experience, using your targeting tools and research to identify and reach out to the right prospects. In module number 4, engagement, establishing a consistent follow-up process to nurture leads and build relationships over time. And lastly, in number 5, execution. Understand the metrics to help you measure your brand effectiveness. By addressing these challenges and implementing best practices, you will improve your social selling with the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling course. Listen to what others have said about 5-star BDM.
Grant, I'll tell you why I'm here, right? I'm here because I love your brand. When we started chatting on LinkedIn, we connected. I checked you out and I go, man, this guy knows what he's talking about.
You were definitely instrumental in helping to shape that knowledge of who I am. Because at first I thought, well, I am an actress. I am a writer. I am a producer. I am a speaker. And so I said, well, I must be a creative communicator. I know that there is a narrative thread here, but you nailed it when you said you are a storyteller. So you brought it all together in this cohesive title.
Sign up today to improve your social selling opportunities. Tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.5starbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius.